Oh, no.
It's coming up. Mulrooney.
Should we put them out of order?
Hello. Good evening. Gentlemen, before I sing my first aria, tonight I would like to sing for you my favorite Italian opera, Lamborghini Gazpacho Fabrizi Travioso Al Dente Strombolino. But before I do that, I would like to introduce some specialized guest persons who came a long way. First, a young man who traveled 3,000 miles today, my son, Lieutenant Commander Sean Mulrooney. Second, another young man who flew 2,000 miles today, my nephew Brian Mulrooney. Driving 500 miles today, the Northern California Mulrooney clan, my brother Ed, his sons Dan and Michael, and his grandsons Connor, Zach, and Patrick.
That's too many Mulrooney's to play.
I'd also like to welcome my brain surgeon, Dr. Bob Price. Before I begin, I would like to recapitulate my salutations tonight, and I'm invoking my fifth commandment rights that nothing I say may be rubbed against me. Men, I come to you tonight with a warm heart and an empty mind. Good news and bad news. The bad news is I have been diagnosticated with bipartial semi-insanity with partial Dane Bremage. The good news is that with my time remaining, I have decided to seek political orifice. Tonight I am throwing up my ring in the hat and denouncing my decision to become the governorship of the candidacy of California, etc. The famous Irishman once said, if you don't want to attract attention, don't take a polka band to a deer hunt. Well, men, our campaign is attracting attention. Besides trying to intercept my brainwaves through my vortex, Governor Moonbeam has been casting asphyxiations about misunderstatements I may or may not have uttered. So I would like to corrugate those conflictions now. Recently, I was interviewed by Catholics in Crayons magazine and was asked who my patron saint was. I was misquoted when I said the Wizard of Oz. I meant Willie Mays. In another slight slip of the tongue, I did say that I thought the Flintstones was a documentary. After watching the second and third epitaphs, I realized it was an autobiography, so case closed. But on the third point in question, I do not waver one bit. The three most influential people in my life have been Abbott and Costello and Santa Claus. You know, just because the train in my tunnel has a light out does not mean there's a fly inside my ointment, if you get my drift. Politics. Politics, yes. Wow, what are your qualifications? And I say to you, yes, many times. What about my education? I are one. I have a BA in BS, and a BS in BA, and an MBA in PB, and a PhD in BBD. And as many of you know, I am recognized as a pioneer in the field of patio science, and I'm still asked to frequently speak in the barbecue aisle at Home Depot. Big deal. also am bilingual in 3 languages, including Canadian, Tex-Mex, and Negro. I'm also proud to say that I proudly served my country proudly in the United States Air Force and was decorated for under-the-covers work by the Amalgamated Prostitute Union of Trabzon, Turkey in 1966. What about scrutables? I want you to know I'm a man of the highest moral scruples and believe in religiously and go there every year. I also am isometrically opposed to dancing, singing, and fornication among Methodists, Morticians, and Muslims. So you say, Bob, you're a wonderful man, but what is your platform? And I say once, but I did not inhale. So what are my platform shoes? Men, I believe in same-sex marriage, but only if it's performed in the privacy of your own cell. Drugs. Did you know that 32% of all drug-related crimes in California are 90% illegal? Therefore, on the issue of the marijuanization of legalism, I am bisexual. I am strongly opposed and vaginally supported. And I think it should be tightly confined to drug addicts and those who would like to be. Think about this, men. There are more people in prison in California than there are people in prison in California. Because of this tragic situation, I am opposed to the 3-strike law unless the game goes into extra innings. On the war issue, I secretly know that there are weapons of mass destruction in East LA. And if we invade, we should use only foreign troops, preferably those that are not American. Regarding gun control, I quote George W. Bush, who said, "Guns don't kill people, dangerous minorities do." Unemployment. Men, I have a pollution for unemployment. If I am elected governorship, I will expand the NBA to 32,000 teams. Finally, on the environment, I love nature and the sky and trees. But it is clear to me that worrying about global warming is a lot like a toilet seat worrying about bad breath. That's the point. In conclusion, I want to tell you that the excrement I feel in my heart tells me that with your suppository, we can win this race. We must always remember one thing, men. Our enemies are everywhere, and neither are we. So, God bless America, God bless California, and God bless all of us here in San Mateo.